creates an order block here, which you will learn, comes down, all the way down, and comes down, makes this new trading range, right? This range, say this is your 15-minute range. And then this is your, say, 5-minute range, which was your 5-minute range that broke structure, right? Change the character. Let's make it red. Now, sometimes how we will use Sasha is, Sasha's just fib levels. Let me just take this out. So Sasha is just fib levels, right? The golden zone you will learn about next week. But Sasha is just fib levels. Now, the fib levels are the following. It's quite easy. It's just 23%, 12%, and that's your Sasha levels. So this is your Sasha zone. This whole area here. That's your Sasha zone, right? Now sometimes we've got 2 entries on Sasha. Just want to admit some people and see the chat. You can hear him. Okay. Ayanda, I don't know. I hope you can hear me now and it's a bit clearer. So sometimes we get 2 entries on Sasha, right? You get your risk entry and you get your confirmation entry. So your risk entry is your 12% and your confirmation entry is your 23%, right? So it will look maybe something like as follows. I'm just going to give you a brief example theory-wise, and then we're going to hit the live charts and I'll show you some examples. So on the 50-minute, remember, this is the 50-minute and this is the 5-minute, right? And this is the example of the 5-minute that I want to show you the tips and tricks that I sometimes do. So on the 15-minute, we can all agree that this is our high and this is our low on the 15-minute, right? So we can all agree on that because this is the, please ignore this. So that's our 15-minute move, right? So then what we do is we draw our Sasha on our trading range. And we just had a chock to go, bearish. So this then becomes our point of interest. Our Sasha, right? Then what we would do is we would wait till price comes to our point of interest, which is our Sasha zone. Let me just see, my phone's going crazy. Sorry about that. Okay. It's off now. So sometimes we would wait till price comes back. Not sometimes, we always wait till price comes back to our Sasha zone, right? And then when it comes back to Sasha zone, it will most likely, let me just make this white. Most of the time, with a higher time frame, right? Like a 4-hour, 1 hour, price will not always go back to Sasha unless we had a change of character. Okay. But again, this is not black and white. Like we can't always exactly predict where market is going, but this is what we've seen over the time. And what I've seen over the time is when we have a change of character, it doesn't matter where or what time frame it is, price will come back to Sasha zone, right? If it does not come back to Sasha zone, like in the 5-minute example, it will sometime, or not even, let's say it didn't come back to Sasha zone, right? But it came back to the premium, by example. Then I would not wait for Sasha. Then I would just continue with my trend, right? But when it didn't come back to premium at all, it will most likely come back to Sasha zone because it wants to come and retest this high, right? So what price then would do most likely is it will maybe make equal highs at this area, just by example, because we've learned about liquidity now, and then it will jump all the way up to Sasha zone, which is this whole block, right? Let me just accept some people, which is this whole block, and then it would most likely continue in our favor. Now, when it comes to Sasha, we've got 2 entries. We've got our risk entry, and we've got our confirmation entry. Can you guys tell me what was my risk entry? Sorry?
12%.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes. So my risk entry was my 12%, right? So your 12% is always your risk. It's this area. This is your risk entry. And then my confirmation entry is my 23%. And what I mean by this is, why my 23% is my confirmation entry. Do you guys know why I say my 23% is my confirmation entry?
I think so.
Sorry?
Michael,
Yes,
Michael,
I can hear you. I don't think you can hear me. Can you guys hear me clearly?
No.
I
well,
can
myself,
see
I can.
clearly.
Sorry?
I can. Yeah.
Okay, you guys can hear me clearly?
yes, you can, yes, Michael.
I can hear you clearly, Michael.
Okay. Thank you. So what I mean by this is, so sometimes we have a confirmation entry and our risk entry. What do I mean by that? So when we had a direction in the market, right? We had the direction in the market, which shows us it's bearish. Market will come back to this area. Let me just redo this so that it's accurate. Okay. So we had direction going bearish. Then what market would do is, after we had a change of character or on a lower time frame, right? This is very important. So sometimes we use Sasha on a lower time frame. So 15-minute Sasha is very good, but on a 4-hour, you'll most likely not find Sasha that often, except when you had a change of character. And I'll show you some examples. But I want to get to the risk entry and the confirmation entry, right? So sometimes price would come directly. It will maybe just nip this 23%, right? And then sometimes it would drop completely down after the 23%. But what I found also most likely was price would come back to this 12%. And this 12% would most likely be I won't say liquidity grab, but anything above this 12% will be a wick, right? And then it will close, the wick will close underneath the 12% most of the time. And then price would maybe mitigate this area. Once price drops with a full body closure underneath your 23%, you can then also enter. So you've got two options here. Put sell stops in or sell limits here at the 12%, and that's your risk entry. Or your second option is wait till price drops through 23% with a full body closure, then you enter. And your stop loss can be much, I won't say tighter, but above your previous high. And then that could be your low. Can you see that your risk reward ratio is a bit better in regards to your risk entry? Did you guys get the risk entry and the confirmation entry?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, we'll go through some live examples with you. I'll go with some live examples with you guys now. So that's basically such as easy. Yes, what's up?
Before like you go to the live,